Nope. Screw that. I am not waiting. I am not waiting for the Spurs to post it. So we'll go over what Popovich has to say, right? Shout out to this segment's sponsor, BetUS. Talk a little bit about BetUS as a whole, and then we'll jump over to what you guys have to say about this Pop interview. So let's do this. All right, this a little bootleg, you know, but it adds to the authenticity, right? Adds to the authenticity. We might have to turn this up. Turn my volume up. Turn down for what? I bet $100,000. Wait, or is it $100 million?
Well, winning an NBA game is and always has been difficult. You know, there are war zones.
Chat, can you hear that okay? Let me know if you can hear that okay, all right? I got latency low, so I should be able to see your chats pretty quickly. So let me know. Make sure it's all good.
So any win is a great win. And I thought that overall,
cool.
You know, our execution can't be as sharp as we'd want it to be with guys that are just getting used to each other. But other than that, I thought the effort was great. We did a great job on the board. And hopefully we'll handle the ball, have fewer turnovers on Monday.
Overall,
dude, it felt like we had 50 million turnovers during this game. It was frustrating, was it not?
What was your impression of the defense that your team played?
I thought we did a good job until the very end when they isolated and just went one-on-one. They got a couple guys that are hard to stay in front of for us, and that got them back in the ballgame. The one-on-one stuff by Green and a couple other guys was really tough to negotiate.
Steph Castle was on the floor with the ball in his hands a lot in those closing minutes. Is that the confidence you have in him already to put him in those situations?
Good question. If you guys couldn't hear, because sometimes it's hard to hear the reporters, he's saying that Steph Castle had the ball in his hands at the end to close out. Do you have a lot of faith in him already, basically?
Well, he was out there, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was a good question, but hey, maybe it was a stupid question. See, that's how Pop would talk to me if I asked that question.
I didn't do that because I'm not confident in him.
What do you see from Jeremy?
He's Jeremy. You know, he runs the floor, he rebounds, he does his best job on defense. He's just out there to win, compete.
Where are my Jeremy Sohan haters at? Please make a comment.
Coach, what do you think of the team's physicality? Seemed like they did a nice job matching Houston for the most part.
Yeah, I think in the second half, Houston was a little bit better with their physicality than we were good in the first half, but I thought in the second half they got into us, and I think it hurt our movement because against a team that's going to do that and put the lumber on you and hold you a little bit, hack. You know, referees can't call everything. They're not going to do that. So you better move. You better make people move. Ball's got to change sides, and we've got to do a better job of that on Monday.
I think Julian Champagnie has been an incredible asset to the team in the first two games this season. What has played into his increased role on the team?
They asked about, I know you probably couldn't hear that. Asking about Julian Champagnie, said that he's been huge for us to begin the season. And basically saying what changed his role, like I guess how he's improved, maybe that's kind of the question.
I don't know. His role's the same as last year. Shoot the ball, play a little bit better defense. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So that was good stuff. Did you guys like that? I'm a Zach Collins hater. I think a lot of people are Zach Collins haters to some degree. All right. Some will call me a Keldon Johnson hater, not necessarily a Zach Collins hater. All right. So that was really good stuff. So the question I have here for you guys, just segue in, and I'll give my thoughts on the interview in a second. But segue in a little bit. How well do you think the Spurs are going to be looking by the time we get to the in-season tournament? Because I usually don't care about the in-season tournament. I really didn't when they introduced it. But I'll be honest in saying, at least last year, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought that it was interesting. I thought it was fun. And players played exceptionally hard. I think the NBA has done a good job of incentivizing players to play well, right? I know a lot of people wanted them to just straight up just punish people for not playing. It's like that's going to be really tough to do if you really want to just change the behavior there. I think the Spurs did, not the Spurs, I'm sorry, the NBA as a whole done a good job of making the game a little bit more interesting, right? Because there's going to be so many teams that just don't make it to the playoffs, but at least you have a shot at something, you know, that teams, players, and fans alike can all enjoy. So how well do you think the Spurs are going to do? So as far as winning the cup, they don't believe in us at all, okay? They don't believe us in us at all. Literally, if you put 10, just 10, or oh, that's 20. If you put $10, risk that, $1,200. If the Spurs win, that's $1,200. So if you guys are interested in that, head on over to BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second 2 deposits, up to $2,000. If you guys are interested, only if you're interested, okay? Only if you're interested, head on over to BetUS. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments you guys have made. You know what? For a visual, I'm gonna have pop on the screen. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see here. Oh, most people were just talking about the game as a whole. So can I say this? Let me say this. I thought Popovich did a great job with his lineups tonight, right? He did a really good job. Last game, I told you how I complained about having like Zach Collins. I think it was Zach Collins, Harrison Barnes, Keldon, Trey Jones, and who's the fifth? I always forget the fifth person. It was Julian Champagnie. Terrible lineup. I thought that was a terrible lineup. This game, didn't really feel that at all. I thought that he did a great job with all of the lineups, basically. Made sure just about every time you had somewhat of a defender out there, or a good defender out there, because there's no reason we shouldn't have either Sohan, Castle, or Chris Paul out there at a time. Especially Sohan and Castle. Now, Chris Paul isn't a great defender or anything, right? I mean, he's very limited because of his age and because of his size, obviously. But at the very least, he can compensate for it on the offensive end because he's big brain, right? He's very smart. And then even on the defensive end, you know, he can direct things pretty well. I saw Popovich getting on to guys more often than he did last season, which it makes sense. It makes sense. Because this season you have higher expectations, and you know you want to build off of last season. You don't want to continuously make mistakes from last season. But I'll be real with you. You know, some of the old Spurs, or the Spurs of last season, really did creep up in this one. Like he said, we kind of let them come back. Our defense isn't terrible, okay? By any means. I think we have pretty good defense. But it's times, dude, these are the momentum killers right here. There's times where we just completely miscommunicate with each other. And the miscommunication is so bad and I know I'm not this like basketball, you know, savant or whatever when it comes to analyzing the game 100%, right? I'm not. I'll be honest in that. But there's times, guys, I cannot tell you who's at fault. I mean, it's so bad till it's hard to even say who's at fault, to the point where even the freaking even the commentators at times are like confused, like I don't know who messed up there. And it's been a lot of these last 2 games. One in particular from this game was one where I think Wemby should have remained on. I don't know why he overcompensated so much. He should have remained on Dillon Brooks, but he dropped all the way down after a pick and roll. And I'm like, what the heck? The heck are you doing? You just left him completely open. There were times in which you had Castle trying to point traffic, like, hey, you need to guard that man. And I'm like, I don't know. Were you supposed to switch there? Were you told just to guard? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. So defensively, while we have more talent, team defense is still not as good as it could be. But I'll tell you, it seemed like it was very difficult for Houston to score when Castle, Sohan, and Wemby were on the court at the same time. They're still attacking Keldon, okay? Teams are still attacking Keldon. Keldon's defense is really bad. I'm sorry. It's really, really bad. He had a lot of good showings in this. He was clutch at the end, along with him and Castle. But man, I don't know what to tell you. It was pretty bad. I think Malachi did okay tonight. Malachi did do okay tonight. You know, he's playing aggressive offensively, and that's all you can really ask for. Just glad Şengün didn't go off. Don't like that dude. I don't have anything against him personally, but I don't think that he's going to be a star like a lot of people say. And also, yes, I'm happy he did not go off. I think last time when he went off, you guys can refresh my memory. I mean, it was a year ago, right? Wemby was in foul trouble. Wasn't that kind of part of it? So Wemby had to play a little bit differently. It was the same thing with Embiid as well. A lot of fouls. A lot of fouls. Green just kept on attacking at the end, and you could feel an upset. He's athletic, man. He is super fast. He was also 25 pounds lighter. AR Doc, I love you. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. But Wemby didn't gain 25 pounds. That's actually a misconception. It's been said so many times, but you're gonna learn here. He did not gain 25 pounds. Okay. Here, you can take it from Wemby himself. Give me a sec. I tweet way too much. I tweet way too often. I apologize. This is gonna take a minute. Hold on. Actually, I don't even know when I said this. Okay, that was Eminem. I love Eminem. Here it is. Reporter asked him about gaining 25 pounds, and Wemby's like, no, I didn't. That was basically the whole thing. He was like, no, I didn't gain 25 pounds. He gained like 5. Also, just think about that. Gaining 25 pounds in a year would not be a good thing. Even Wemby himself said, like, oh, dude, I will be hurt. I will be injured. Yeah. No. And basically Vic said 10 pounds a year max will be good. But no, 25 would be insane. It was just wrong. Why have they been reporting that? Crazy. They just got it wrong. They took. I think what happened was, because I remember us debunking this before. It was the beginning of last season, and they were giving his weight out, but they were going off of a weight that he was like several years ago. And even at that time, I was like, no, that's not the right weight. And then now they're using that same measurement they had at the beginning of last season to say, oh, look at the big difference. And it's like, no, it's not that big of a difference. You know, and even his like 5 to 10 pounds that he gained is still a big deal. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still a big deal. But yeah, no, he didn't gain 25 pounds. That did not happen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even our announcer said it during game. Dude, I was so upset by that. I think I tweeted that out. I was like, dude, can we stop doing this? Somebody commented, they were like, I think he's joking. I'm like, no, he's not joking. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, hour ago. He did not gain 25 pounds. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Yeah, right here. Hate it. But overall, guys, I think Pop did a great job. He coached his butt off. You could see he was very visually upset. Physically upset, visually upset, verbally upset. He was getting on the refs hard tonight. But one thing that's really positive is you had Pop getting onto the refs, but you didn't see a lot of whining from the Spurs. You didn't see Wemby all in the refs' face. You didn't see Sohan crying to everybody. They just didn't. You know, you can see we were a little upset at times, but we moved on, went to the next play. So I thought it was a lot of maturity on our end, and that's what you want. You want your coach to kind of do the dirty work when it comes to the refs, you know, because coaches can get away with a little bit more than some of the players can get away with, especially someone as legendary as Pop. He can get away with saying a few things or two, and they need to hear it. And yeah, I just thought the young guys, you know, put their heads down and tried to finish up this game. So good coaching all the way around. I thought, another thing too. Let me bring this up. You guys probably saw this, okay? This is just me, you know, maybe enjoying the game a little bit too much. Did you guys see Coach Pop telling Castle to get his arms out. Oh, wait. My screen froze. When Pop was telling Castle to get his arms out. Did you guys see that? Like, open up your arms more. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful sight to see. I don't know if you guys saw it. I think it was in the fourth quarter. I don't recall. You're freezing bad. Yeah, I froze right there. I saw that and he didn't listen. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not Castle listened or not. On defense, yes. Okay, it doesn't matter if he listened or not. All I'm saying is some good coaching going on, all right? Some good coaching. He really does believe in Castle. Good stuff. Castle was solid. We'll get to all the players in a little bit. Nice.